Hey guys, what's happening? My name is Michael Root with Ableton Keys. Today I'm going to show you how to have Ableton Live control your patch changes on your Roland Fantom while you play live. First, let's talk about the connection type that I have. So I have a Mio XC right here, which is simple 5-pin DIN MIDI into my Roland Fantom-O, and then I have a USB-C on the other end into my computer. This could go for any kind of connection type that you have. If you're running extended RTP connections, a USB connection, I've certainly used that when I had my computer right next to me on stage. If you're unsure on how to make some MIDI connections, be sure to check out Will Doggett at FromStudioToStage.com. He's got some great stuff on how to make different MIDI connections happen. Great, let's dive into the Roland Fantom next. We are going to go into the menu and we'll go into this system right here. And you can scroll up or down using this knob to get to MIDI. And we're going to focus on this scene control channel. This is the MIDI channel that we want to send our MIDI program change messages to. So this can be anything from 1 to 16. You can even turn it off if you don't want any program changes, but that would negate the purpose of this video. So we're going to choose channel 1 just to be simple over here. Let's go and jump you over to Ableton Live. So I'm going to press Command, comma, and link tempo MIDI is where we're going to be working at. Under this out port, because we are sending MIDI out of Ableton into the Roland Fantom, we're going to go to the output port, sorry. We're going to check the Mio XC, we're going to check the track box because we're going to send the MIDI from Ableton Live's tracks. So this is a set that I have pulled up over here. We're going to start from the very beginning, so I'm just going to go to some empty space at the end of the set over here. I'm going to select that Roland Fantom-O PC and then press Shift-Command-T. That way it populates a MIDI track right under that track. I'm going to go to the all-ins right here and set no input. We do not need any MIDI coming into this track. We're only going to send MIDI out, so we'll go to the output. And this could look different depending on what kind of MIDI scenario that you're running. For this, I'm running the Mio XC. If you look at the Nord program change that I have, this is the live scenario that I run, and I run RTP MIDI, so that's selected to a RTP MIDI port on the play audio. Let's go in and let's change our grid to, not 4 bars, let's do 1 bar, and let's select a bar space and press Shift-Command-M, and that will populate a MIDI clip. Right down here you see bank, sub, and program. If you don't see that, you can toggle on these guys right here. Bank is MSB, most significant bit. Sub, LSB, least significant bit. Program is program change, otherwise known as PC. So don't let those confuse you. They're the same thing, whether someone says bank, MSB, that sort of thing. So these are where we're going to input our numbers for the patches on the Roland Fantom-O. So how do we know what patches correspond with what MSB, LSB, and program change numbers? I already have this pulled up in Safari, but basically you can Google Roland Fantom-O, and this should also work with the Fantom too. I forgot to mention that earlier. But you can basically just Google Roland Fantom-O sound list, and it'll bring you to Roland's website where you can download this. And you'll see right here we have the MSB, LSB program change numbers for the scenes. So this goes, I believe this will take you all the way up to C27, but basically the formula, which we'll talk about in a second, is the same for all the user scenes. They also have the tone list here. I don't really use the tones. I don't organize my sounds like this. I organize all of my sounds for a song in a specific scene. That way I can just call up that scene. You can experiment with this if you want. This is just how I organize things. Let's talk about MSB and LSB for a little bit. So these numbers are actually going to be off by 1. The reason for that is Roland is using 0 to 127, whereas the MSB and LSB in Ableton is 1 to 128. To make things a little bit more confusing, program change with Roland on this list, they start at 1 and they go up to 128. And if we jump you to the Roland, we're on bank C, right? So we have patch 1 over here, and we have all the way up to 128, if we can get there. There we go, so 128. MSB is basically telling the Roland Fantom that we're gonna choose the scene, not the tone. The tone was a different MSB, right? And the LSB is basically going to choose what bank we are. So in this list, it says that bank A is 0, but remember we're gonna add 1. So bank A is actually gonna be number 1, B will be 2, C will be 3, and D will be 4. And then, like I said, the program change is going to correspond with exactly the scene on your Roland Fantom. So if we wanted to go to, let's say, D48, MSB would be 86, LSB would be 4, and then, I think I said 48, so the program change would be the same. So I hope that makes sense. So let's jump back into Ableton and let's use these numbers. So for bank, we're going to go to 86 because we add 1 to 85. Let's go to bank B, so that would be 2. And let's go to program 28. Great. I'm going to jump you a measure early in Ableton, and I'm going to press play. And now I'm going to jump you on the camera over to the Roland Fantom, and we are going to watch this change our patch. So I'm going to press play. It's playing, jump you to the Fantom, and there's the patch change. Let's go back into Ableton. Let's say we wanted to do bank D, which would be 4, and let's go to 117. I'll jump you right here, press play, Roland Fantom, and it changes to D117. So let's again talk about some best practices for using this. Again, I like to save all of my sounds into a scene for the song. And then I like to name that scene the name of the song in the Roland Fantom. So in Ableton, we can do that same thing with the MIDI clip. Okay, so let's say that this MIDI clip was triggering to scene False Reality. That's a song that I play with my band Signal Fire. I'll just select the clip, Command R, and then I can type in the name, False Reality. And then from there, I like to store all these clips in session view. That way I have them easily accessible from somewhere. Also, when I go to program into a new song or a new set, if I need to recall any of these, I can recall them from the Ableton Live browser. I'll have a separate video about the Roland Fantom-O program change template that will be included in the description of this video. So make sure you go download that template, and we'll have a video coming out about that soon on how to use all that. So select that, Command, comma, and then we'll tab over here, and then I'm gonna select an empty scene, and we'll press Command V, and now we have it stored over here. And you can see on these tracks that I actually use live, you can see all the different sounds that I have, the different songs, names on there and everything. So if we want to wrap this up by just checking out, this is a medley of songs. So this is the second song in here. And when I get to the song, I press play, and we'll jump you over to the Roland, and it selects the correct patch over there. At the start of the song, right over here, we'll press the locator to start the song, and it'll immediately change us to that exact sound that we need. So I hope this is helpful. I really hope that this frees you up when you play live. It definitely has freed me up when I play live. When we have tight transitions, I don't have to worry about changing any patches or anything. There are some times where I have multiple patch changes happening in one song. So that's definitely a possibility too. If you like this content, then definitely subscribe. Check out my Instagram page, Ableton_keys. We'll have a lot more stuff coming out soon. Until next time.